Just be good enough for us to learn. And then if we can learn from it, we'll go build the actual good thing. I mean, the integration mechanism is the pad. The catch mechanism is the pad. All of this stuff is like integral to how the pad operates. And so the reason we call it stage 0 is literally it is the first stage of the launch process. And if it is not working, we cannot go launch. And so that certainly like raises the stakes and raises the priority and like drama whenever things go wrong on the pad. Post-static fire, as we were transiting the chopstick arms back to a lower position, we heard a loud noise out at the pad.
It's vibrating the entire tower. Something got jammed up in the chain and maybe caused it to snap. We don't really know if it's broken completely or if it's just cockeyed or buckled in some way. God, it sounds terrible. So we are in a mad dash to get that roller diagnosed and replaced as soon as possible.
The chop carriage has many rollers positioned at different parts around the tower. And when I say roller, it's literally like, imagine the world's largest bicycle chain. It's built almost exactly like a bike chain, except for it's 380 pounds, and the chop carriage weighs a lot. And so it basically broke one of those links. The chain got bound up. And the day after static fire, we called our buddies at the Cape. We had some spare units over there for building the Cape towers. We're able to hot shot to overnight the chain to us, got the old chain torn apart, got the new one put together, flew it up, and the morning after that, we were ready to rock.
Hey, with these ones, make sure we're going up. Arriba. Arriba.
It was on the order of like 30 hours, 36 hours from we found the problem to had it fully back in service. On like an item that was not really designed to be very serviceable. To be able to come up with a scrappy plan, you know, temp support it with cranes, get in there and boogie is like, that's like just classic SpaceX nonsense.
Man, I love this docuseries. It's not just behind the scenes, it's in the scenes.
It's a day in the life of working here at Starbase. It's awesome.
Yeah. Now, if that scrappy problem solving that Steyer described inspires you, if you want to be a scrappy problem solver with us and the team here, come on over and help us build the future. All right, let's meet the rocket there on the pad, Starship version 3, the most powerful rocket ever developed, ever flown.
That's right. At just over 407 feet tall, fully stacked, it is massive. Standing at the base and looking up is like looking up at a 40-story building. Insane.
It's crazy. It's a 2-stage rocket. Both stages are designed to fly to Earth to return to Earth and fly again, making this the first fully reusable rocket ever. The bottom half, or the first stage, is the super heavy booster. That's the silver part at the bottom. It's powered by 33 of our newest iteration Raptor 3 engines. You see them there. And those run on liquid methane and oxygen. This version of Raptor provides a significant increase in thrust. With that additional thrust, fun fact, this version of Starship gets off the pad faster than our previous versions. Here you can see version 1 Starship on the left, V2 in the middle, and V3 on the right. That was our first flight of V3 on Flight 12, and that thing just leaps off the pad.
I guess we're just
That's
waiting
right.
for it to
Now,
start.
Super Heavy also has 3 grid fins now, which you can think of as aerodynamic rudders to help steer during landing. They're 50% larger than on the previous booster version and are designed to support rapid reuse and a more stable atmospheric reentry.
At the top of the booster is the hot stage adapter. It's designed to protect the booster during separation. The bottom half, or the first stage, is the super heavy booster. That's the silver part at the bottom. It's powered by 33 of our newest iteration Raptor 3 engines. You see them there. And those run on liquid methane and oxygen. This version of Raptor provides a significant increase in thrust. With that additional thrust, fun fact, this version of Starship gets off the pad faster than our previous versions. Here you can see version 1 Starship on the left, V2 in the middle, and V3 on the right. That was our first flight of V3 on Flight 12, and that thing just leaps off the pad.
That's right. Now, Super Heavy also has 3 grid fins now, which you can think of as aerodynamic rudders to help steer during landing. They're 50% larger than on the previous booster version and are designed to support rapid reuse and a more stable atmospheric reentry.
At the top of the booster is the hot stage adapter. It's designed to protect the booster during separation and is now fully integrated for reusability.
And stacked right above that is our upper stage of the rocket, or stage 2, which is what we call ship. It's powered by 6 Raptor engines, 3 optimized for sea level performance, and 3 for the vacuum of space.
Ship's design could one day enable point-to-point transfer on Earth, meaning you could travel anywhere on the planet, just like an airplane, but this time in an hour or less. It's designed to carry massive orbital payloads, cargo and crew, to Earth orbit, the Moon, Mars, and beyond.
And for the first time, we're carrying real Starlink V3 satellites to space. For more on that, let's head out to California, where Tyler is standing by with the team in Hawthorne. How's it going, Tyler?
Hey, thank you so much, Kate and Nate. I'm Tyler Lionquist, a Starlink business analyst here at SpaceX. And for those of you who have been following along, the Starlink version 3 satellites have been designed to take full advantage of Starship's payload capacity. We're going to get our first look at those satellites today. The Starlink V3 is our next-gen satellite and includes meaningful increases in capacity, data density, and power generation. We'll be adding around 20 times the capacity into the constellation on each Starship mission as compared to the version 2 satellites that we currently launch on Falcon. That means that we'll be able to serve more people all around the world with increasingly better high-speed internet. Like all of the Starlink satellites, the V3s are built at Starlink's site in Redmond, Washington, where we already build more satellites than anyone else in the world today. The Starlink V3 sats are designed to support 1 terabit per second of downlink and 160 gigabits per second of uplink capacity. That's approximately a 10 times improvement in downlink capacity and a 22 times increase in uplink capacity from the version 2 Starlink satellite. Serving this capacity to and from customers are the satellite's upgraded phased array antennas. The upgraded phased arrays are fed by SpaceX's in-house developed chips that were designed to serve customers more efficiently in both densely and sparsely populated regions simultaneously. Each Starlink V3 satellite is also equipped with 6 high-capacity 400 gigabit space lasers. These 6 lasers will allow high bandwidth traffic to flow uninterrupted between any 2 points in the world with redundant paths across a petabit laser mesh network. And if that wasn't enough, the V3s will carry 4 quad-band radio frequency backhaul antennas. These will take advantage of the Ka, E, V, and W communication bands, allowing for an 8 times improvement in the supported capacity compared to our V2 sats. Now that's a lot of growth in capacity and capability. And as such, the new satellite design requires more power. So the solar arrays on V3 will generate approximately twice as much power as the current arrays that we fly on the V2 satellites. And they're also optimized to reduce drag in the lower orbital altitudes in which these satellites will operate. But before we operationalize these satellites, we want to put them in a flight-like environment. So these satellites were just loaded into Starship yesterday ahead of today's launch. And once deployed, the Starlink team will only have about 20 minutes of flight to speed run some tests before the sat's demise in the atmosphere. Now the team will attempt to run tests such as extending the new solar arrays and antennas, connecting with ground stations,
this goes
and
for
turning on
so
the satellite's
long.
communication systems. This is all part of SpaceX's iterative process to technology advancement. And from the beginning, Starlink was designed to scale rapidly and improve continuously.
It never ends.
From production to launch and ground infrastructure, Starlink is uniquely positioned to keep pace with rising demand around the world.
Wait, let me see.
In fact, just this week, we rolled out the next generation Starlink kit V5, which is built for reliable, high-speed home internet.
What can I say?
Yeah.
Okay, we're likely going to have
there it is.
Copyright strikes here as well.
It was 14 days ago, 2 weeks.
But they did just release a new Starlink.
And it was just Mizu.
Yeah, which is what they're talking about here. So,
yeah,
sorry for the audio issue before. Somehow, don't ask me how. When I'm sitting on 10 gig internet here, I lost all internet for a second here in Iowa. and then during a time when we normally mute the audio because because otherwise we get copyright strikes and then the whole stream goes away.
Hello.
So kind of a double thing. So sorry for the no sound for a minute. But anyway, we are T-minus 15 minutes. Don't forget, so our clock is actually synced up with like real time, what you're seeing. And then we're having to bring in the X feed, which is behind.
I'd say we didn't have a proper
they won't sync up very
chat
well.
for
So
around a month.
just keep that in mind. Let's listen in here.
Satellite, our AI data center's satellite StarMind. I actually got to sit down recently with Elon and our director of satellite engineering, Ian Dahl. We covered a whole lot of stuff. The focus really was on the 3 limiting factors to making data centers in space a reality. The first factor we really dug into was needing way more mass to orbit. We're talking megatons. And that's where Starship comes in by combining full reusability, massive payload capacity that's essential to launch the number of satellites that we're talking about, because we plan to deploy up to 1 million AI satellites, and those are going to function as orbital data centers, leveraging Starship for that high volume, low cost launch. There's a couple of reasons why moving data centers to space has some pretty immediate advantages over building them here on Earth, which takes us to our next limiting factor, and that's power generation. Because guess what? It's always sunny in space. Satellites can harness near constant solar energy. On our website at SpaceXAI/StarMind. So a lot of really cool stuff coming. Kate, future looking pretty sweet, but first things first, Flight 13.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The future
towards
is built
becoming
on
a galactic civilization,
like
harnessing more power from our nearest.
Let's dive into the flight profile.
Right, so today we'll be starting with liftoff of Pad 2 here at Starbase. Super Heavy will ignite those 33 Raptor 3 engines, and we will then power through ascent ahead of our hot stage separation, which is when the booster will shut down all but 5 engines at the bottom. Stage 2 will then light its own Raptor engines.
And starting that hot stage separation, we will then have the directional booster flip with Super Heavy igniting those 33 Raptor engines. And after coasting for a few minutes, the booster will then target a landing burn and splash down a few miles off the coast of Starbase.
Ship keeps the fun going with its ascent burn to a suborbital trajectory. We then deploy those 20 Starlink V3 satellites, and we plan to relight a single Raptor engine. Re-entry then follows a few minutes later, which should provide some amazing views via Starlink of the ship's blistering re-entry through the Earth's atmosphere. A plasma blanket will form around the vehicle, and this never fails to provide epic scenes as the vehicle comes back. And lastly, we'll conclude today's test with a landing flip, landing burn, and a splashdown in the Indian Ocean. And with that, let's kick it back up to Dan for a countdown update.
Hey, thanks, Kate. Good news is very little news. We are continuing to look on track for a liftoff today, not tracking any issues on the vehicle or the pad side. Range status continues to be green. Reminder, we're tracking the range out in the Gulf off the coast of Starbase where we're launching over, and then also out in the Indian Ocean where we're hopefully sending a Starship in just about 11 minutes from now. Weather looks gorgeous. Blue skies, low winds, a couple of clouds, not a concern for flight today. I think the vehicle and the pad both looking great. We are in kind of the latter stages of propellant loading. We got into the go, no go with the flight control team at about T-minus 1 hour, and then we've been loading prop for about, quick math, about 26 minutes now. We're going to continue loading propellant, that's your liquid oxygen, your liquid methane, onto both of these vehicles until just a little over 2 minutes before we lift off. We'll close out on the
We can't even hear you, bro. You keep moving, but we don't hear you at all.
About 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So, at the moment, we're looking good.
I'm back.
We're counting down to the very top of our window. It's a 90-minute window. It opens right at 5:45 p.m. Central Time. Looking good to hit that right at the top. Back over to you guys.
Thanks, Dan. Now, as teams prepare for today's launch from Texas, work is also continuing on the other side of the Gulf in Florida, where Starship will soon be launching, potentially later this year.
That's right. Starship flights from Florida will initially lift off from Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center. Teams are working through Starship system activations, performing initial tower chopstick motion tests, confirming the operation of the hold downs on the launch mount, and performing multiple integrated tests of the propellant farms, water farm, diverter, and launch mount. With Starship coming to 39A, the launch complex will soon have 2 operational pads for 2 very different rockets with Starship and Falcon Heavy. It has been awesome to see the 39A Starship program come to life over several years, and it's going to be exciting to soon see a Starship
land on the Philippines.
Yeah, we're super excited. But 39A isn't SpaceX's only pad in Florida. Just a few miles down the coast at Space Launch Complex 37, the first of 2 Starship launch pads at that site is quickly taking shape. Pad 37A is targeted to be ready for flight operations early next year, which is very fast considering we only started construction on the pad in November. This year, teams have worked through ground preparations at the pad and fuel farms while also fully excavating the flame trench for Pad 37A. In June, stacking began of the launch and catch tower, and you can see that there on your screen. And we have plans to complete that stacking in the coming weeks.
And a few miles west of Pad 37 is our Cape Giga Bay, where all Starship vehicles in Florida will be processed for flight. Recently, teams finished erecting all of the building's steel and are now working to finish the exterior of the structure. In the coming weeks, SpaceX will complete activation of the first crane in the building, set up the first integration stands, and complete platform work to be ready for supporting the first Starship vehicles that will arrive in Florida. We'll transport the rockets from Texas to Florida, and honestly, it's just going to be so exciting to see a Starship take flight from the Space Coast. Especially exciting as I had the opportunity to play a role in the Starship Cape program in my previous role, so
that's pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Clearly, SpaceX's future in Florida is coming together quickly, with planned launches already on the horizon, including regular trips to the moon. And speaking of the moon, NASA recently announced the Artemis 3 crew for the next moon mission. Let's head back up to Dan for more on that.
Yeah, thanks, Kate. I mean, we're not going to take a minute. We're not going to take a minute to nerd out a little bit about the moon. So NASA just announced the Artemis 3 mission. That's going to be a crewed demonstration flight into low Earth orbit designed to demonstrate a lot of the critical systems needed for future lunar landings. We've got our astronaut crew, 4
when I saw
the European
the
Space
Starship,
Agency, Randy Bresnik, Luca Parmitano,
the
Frank
SpaceX
Rubio,
thing,
and
that
Andre
video,
Douglas are going
I
to crew
thought
that mission
all
slated
it
for
was you guys were done how.
2027. That's going to be the penultimate mission, the final test before Artemis attempts
They look
to put
exactly the
astronauts
same,
back on the moon. For
One
the
of
first
them
time
was bald,
since
that's all.
1972.
And I thought he just
For our
shaved
part,
his
we're going
head.
to be launching a Starship with a docking port on the nose.
They're cloning him.
Practice rendezvous and docking with the crew inside of Orion. One of our key test
You clone your
objectives is
best
going to come
engineers,
after
you know.
docking, where we're
So
going to be able to
I keep
test out
forgetting
the
this.
maneuverability of both
Will
vehicles
this
while they're
Starship
connected.
have like a
This has some extra
pseudo
importance
cavern or
as
whatever
the
they
revamp
find
plans
or
for
is it
the
literally they
Artemis
just connect to the
landing
nose
missions.
port
We're
and
going to
they
use Starships
nothing?
to do the burn that sends
I don't know.
astronauts to the moon
I think
from
I
Earth
think
orbit.
they
And one
will
other
go
cool
through
ad
trans.
that just came out today, NASA's going to be putting 2 SpaceX
Truthful,
mini
do you know
lasers
anything?
on Orion to connect it to our
don't know
Starlink
much.
constellation, where we already use thousands of lasers today, and
Well,
they're going to be
the
doing that
docking
with the
is
goal of
an important
enabling
part,
4K
but I don't
imagery
think
and
it's
video from the
possible for
spacecraft
them to
while they're in
do
space.
that.
So a lot of excitement planned for next year as we all work together to send humans back to the moon, begin building a moon base, get to that future where anybody that wants to go to the moon is going to
Why
hopefully be
does
able to go to the moon.
NASA use
So
Starlink
lots
for, say,
of really cool stuff to come. For
non-critical
now, though,
systems
we're at
such
T-minus
as
6 minutes, 18
video
seconds
feedback
into today's
for
launch,
us
and we're getting
regular
into
folk?
terminal count. So let's zoom in. So range continues to be green. Weather continues to be gorgeous.
Probably like,
Getting
I
into
don't
the
know.
final stages of propellant loading on both stages of Starship. Again, we're putting liquid oxygen, liquid methane on both the
Let me
booster and the
just
ship.
set it up.
The ship has main tanks.
Where
It
is
also
this?
has those small header tanks in the
This.
very top and the nose of the vehicle that we're going to fill up. We're going to close
Change.
out on the ship at about 2 minutes and 10 seconds before launch, and then the booster at about 2 minutes and 50. Once we're completely done prop loading, you've got about 11.5 million pounds of liquid propellant on board both stages. Then we start to get the pad itself ready for launch. We do what's called pushbacks. That's you're clearing out all of those propellant feed lines that have been flowing from the tank farm into the tower, into the vehicles, push it back into the tank farm, and then we also start purging all of those lines with an inert gas, just getting it ready for launch. We'll do final thrust vector steering controls on our Raptor engines at about T-minus 100 seconds and then T-minus 60 seconds.
Scott Trosley said, great wet dress rehearsal so far.
Change. It's now going to come at T-minus 60 seconds. That's
Razan T3 said no.
A couple of our final
Wall of
checks
Jerusalem
before
said
liftoff,
no.
And we moved them a little bit earlier before we start flying, so that time is now at T-minus 60.
Rehearsals are for
we can pause to
when
wait,
you have a
only
perfect
hold
vehicle.
there if there's an issue, and we can recycle back.
Minus 60 seconds.
You don't need to test your rocket if you do it right on the first
Both
try.
the ship and booster
Am
will
I right?
configure their comm systems for flight and
Look.
will rapidly run
Wait,
leak
let me-
checks
Or if you
on
don't
gas
care if you
and
blow it up.
gas. The booster will also go to internal power.
Case
and
in point,
engine
SpaceX.
Final priming for launch, while the ship's engines begin their ascent bleed profile,
Let
and it
me-
arms the automatic flight safety
Let-
system.
Hopefully
There's a lot of
lasts
mechanical
suborbital
activations on the tower side as well, with one critical step, unlatching the quick
should
disconnect
just
sheet
go
and
for a
propellant
booster
into
catch.
the ship.
And once T-minus 60 seconds has passed, there is still the ability to rapidly recycle the count under certain conditions back to that T-minus 60 second hold point. We can hold there and assess what happened and if teams
Like
can proceed again
T-minus
to
40.
2-0. We've got about 5 to 8 minutes of hold time, and that will largely
when
be
do they
driven
change to
by the
T-minus
propellant
60?
temperatures that we see on the vehicle while holding. The
For the
plane
hold.
diverter on pad 2, which you can see the side profile of it there on your screen, that activates at T-minus 17 seconds, and if we trigger a hold after that, it will result in a scrub for the day. So we're now 3.5, just under 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, 60
until
seconds
liftoff.
now.
If you've recently joined, we're
Apparently.
planning to deploy 20 of our
joined?
Starlink V3 satellites. These
Scott Trosley said countdown.
So that's exciting. We also would like to perform.
That's right, and actually on the screen now you're seeing an awesome view of our pad and the clouds that you're seeing coming off of our fuel tank farm, all now being used for its second time here for Flight 13.
All right, so we're through the 3-minute mark. So we should be closing out prop load on the booster any second now, and then the closeouts any second now, and then the propellant on both of these vehicles. We are not currently tracking board. We're looking a little over 11.5 million pounds of propellant on both of these vehicles. We are not currently tracking any holds on the board, which is always good news. Reminder, we have that built-in hold at T-minus 1 minute. We're only going to stop there if we run into an issue where we need a couple of minutes to hang out. But right now, we have no holds on the board. So a whole lot on deck for Starship second flight, Starship version 3, booster version 3, Raptor 3, looking to get off the pad here in 2 minutes.
Who's that?
Who's that?
Oh, that's you. No one apparently.
Yeah, no one.
Wall of Jerusalem said I got teamed out for saying the number.
So we have finished
I
our
said
propellant
6-7.
33.
Oh,
Skipping!
skipping!
The booster getting ready to light up. Final wiggle checks happening now.
I didn't know you
It's
will.
moving.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that Super Heavy is going to be using to steer, do all its maneuvers. We just got through those. Okay, so we are 1 minute, 20 seconds away, counting down. We're going to listen in. Again, not tracking a hold, so we should move right past T-minus 1 minute. If we recycle back to it, we'll figure out why, and then we'll continue counting down. So let's go. T-minus 1 minute. Let's listen in. Let the rocket do the talking. See See if we can get a Starship off the pad today.
And there's a hole. No.
There's a hold. Yeah.
We did trigger a hold.
Yeah.
I love holding.
So again, we have this hold built in. We've got a couple of checkouts that are going to happen on the vehicle and the pad that we've got to clear. A lot of it's tied to essentially the different pressures that are in the systems that are feeding prop into
Oh, there you go.
Looks like we are getting ready to reset that hold go. And the clock is rolling.
Here we go.
Oh wow, we're just gonna go, huh?
That hold was because
Wall of Jerusalem said cock is ticking. Razan T3 said
we're just going, huh?
Okay. Oh.
Look at the plane.
There we go.
Look out, plane. There's someone coming for you.
this rocket might do a power slide, you know. Astra slide.
No, shut up.
Come on, Starship, do that power slide.
It can't really do it because of the disconnect arms. It would power slide into the tower, actually.
Here we go.
Okay, there we go.
5, 4,
4,
3, 2, 1. Let's go.
What? What's happening?
Is that an abort?
Is that an abort?
Oh shit.
It was an abort.
Is that abort? What the fuck?
And it's over. First
Alright,
time.
now launch. Alright.
And we did trigger a hold right at startup there. You saw we got a hold on the booster.
Amazing. Wet dress rehearsal.
Do they still have enough water?
So stick with us for a second.
Did they?
Razan T3 said there's burn though.
What does he
Wall of
mean by hold?
Jerusalem
That's
said
So we
fuck
did
my
trigger a
chud
hold
light.
on the booster that aborted our liftoff
can't
as we
launch
were
it.
starting to
Yeah,
light
they
those
can.
Raptor engines. As a
Oh.
reminder, since we already turned
fuck.
the diverter on, we are going to be scrubbed for the day. The teams are
great.
already
Yeah.
starting to
It's
pull
over.
for
Too much water.
offload
Too much
of
water.
both vehicles, so starting to get the prop off.
I think it's a protocol. Even if they had enough water, they can't really do it.
We'll take
again.
a little bit of time to look into what triggered that abort. Usually we'll take some data review for all of our teams.
It was
But
too,
again, we did
too
abort
smooth to be
on
good.
Scott
Like,
the
Trosky
startup
said
It was
of the
too good to
booster.
be true.
prediction
So we weren't
correct.
tracking any holds moving in
damn it.
to
Wall
those
of
final
Jerusalem
seconds
said
into that
bruh.
final minute.
Yikes.
But that is
I
going to be a
have work
scrub
on
for the
next
day.
launch.
So the team's now moving into
Scott
commodity
I had
offload.
tried
We're going
it.
to take the methane and the oxygen
12 hours,
off
guys.
of both Starship and Super Heavy.
Damn it.
12 hours. I can still see it if it's actually 12 hours.
So not
12
the
hours. Is that like a
end result
night?
you're looking for, but we've got vehicle there still
It's
on the
just the
pad.
same launch
And they're going to
time,
get these commodities
but
off.
during the
It'll
day.
take some time, dig into what triggered that abort once the booster was igniting
Or
to
during the
launch.
night, if it's day
And then
for
we'll
you
figure
now.
out what our
All
path
that fuel
forward is
for
going
what?
to be.
12 hours.
If it's a small problem,
Again,
then
if you're
12
just jumping
hours
in,
looks
we're not going
good.
to be launching today. We got all the way down to startup, triggered a
I'll
hold
be right
on
back.
the booster,
Yeah.
and that shut down the engines right as they were starting to ignite.
I'm blaming
All
Truthful.
right, so at this point,
Okay.
they're going to get into offload. We're going to get all the methane, all the oxygen off the vehicle, and then we'll figure out
You
next
guys did
steps. So,
well. You joined too late.
no Starship launch today.
Sure.
We'll dig in with the teams, figure out what happened, and figure out when our next attempt is going to be.
We needed
And
2 more
obviously,
coffee
we're going to
from
keep you
Danhouse
updated
so
as
we
well.
can-
So
we
we'll
can
dig into
launch.
what our
That's the
recycle
reason
time
we didn't
is,
launch.
when we're going to be able to
God
try
damn
again.
it.
Be sure to follow us on X at SpaceX. We're going to share updates there as soon as more information becomes available and when we can get back for flying. So thanks for tuning in today. Hopefully we'll
actually
be back
Friday
real
for me.
soon for
So it's
Flight 13 and another
Friday
attempt to
or
get
Flight
Starship off the
13.
pad. Thanks, everybody.
Do you have work
Friday the
at
13th.
weekends?
Yeah, I work at weekends.
Oh, damn.
Well, if it's not launching on Friday, then I guess I might miss it. It depends. If it's if the launch happens at night, I might be able to watch it. If it's the same time as it does right now, I can't watch it. I would be cooked at work, but who cares? I stayed awake until 5 a.m.
Yeah.
2 days ago.
Man, I want a night launch. Fuck. That would be so good.
Yeah, we need a night launch for Starship. When are we those?
Yeah.
Hopefully Florida. Florida would look peak during a night launch because of the facilities there.
Oh, true.
You know,
very true. Fuck,
being able to watch the night turn into a day.
Yeah. Fuck, that would be so cool. But they'll only do it once they doing production stuff.
Scott Trosley said, "My friend just said
Starship
that
was
both the
designed by a
Saturn V
Nazi."
and Starship were designed by a
Yeah,
Nazi."
you know that guy who was like, "Fuck SpaceX, they're full of Nazis." I'm sticking to NASA.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the stream. Fucking A. God damn it.
Who's
Who
here?
joined? Wait, who joined?
Astra 2.
They missed nothing.
Astra 2. Missed a bunch of nothing.
The astronomy enthusiast, Astro 2,
Missed nothing.
said fuck.
Truthful, are you working on your next
said,
cinematic?
GN, everyone am going to EEP.
I'm selecting music, but that's really it right now.
Scott Trosley
You're
said,
not doing
Astro,
anything?
you missed
No.
the wet dress rehearsal.
Get some frost on your starships.
True.
The astronomy
I'm waiting for the new
enthusiast,
pad,
Astro 2,
the pad 2
said,
to
so
release.
Wall lives another day.
You don't get a launch vehicle.
I
was
was
thinking
watching
about
with
making
my
one,
family.
but I don't know. I can probably make the
Turn
model in
lit
Blender and make it like. I think it's
Scott
possible to
Trosley
do the
said,
modeling stuff. I don't know if I
for
can
hot
do the
state.
code.
Yeah, the modeling is easy. It's just the
Starship's
coding.
turn lit its engines for hot staging.
Can I just copy a V2 Starship, change the stats, and be done with it?
You could.
Starship's turn.
Change the
lit its
specific
engines for hot
impulse of the
staging.
Raptor engines,
Starship's turn.
the
lit
fuel
its engines for hot
capacity,
staging.
and that's it.
Starship's turn lit its engines for hot staging. Starship's turn.
Oh, and lower the thrust because Raptor 3 has. I think it's equal now. Does Raptor 3 actually have lower thrust?
No.
It has higher
No.
specific impulse, I'm pretty sure, but.
Okay. Yep, I'm a dip. I need to
Yeah,
fucking
I'm going
sleep.
to.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
The astronomy
Tired.
enthusiast, Astro
Unfortunate.
2, said it has higher thrust.
Well, it's only me and you guys, the non-talking people. Who's this? Picora.
250 T-Force IRRC.
Oh. SpaceX, ScamX. They went below their opening. Why are you here?
You joined late.
Who joined late? Picora?
Pecro
Well, go
Aura
sleep.
said, when is it gonna start?
Bro, when is it gonna start?
The astronomy enthusiast, Astro 2, said, bruh, you missed it. Rud.
Bro, you're gonna wake up
Pecro
your
Aura
family, go
said, oh
sleep.
damn.
Bro, that's funny. No, it canceled. It scrubbed. Basically, like it stopped mid when it was about.
An image
No,
file.
it did, Rod.
Scott Trosley said we might have damaged engines since 4 failed to
4
ignite.
failed to ignite does not
The
mean.
rest did a hard shutdown.
The rest did a hard
Okay.
shutdown. A
Well,
hard
at least
shut.
it didn't explode.
No,
That's
Raptor.
good, at least.
Raptor is very good at doing hard shutdowns. It managed to
Pecro
do
Aura
it
said
to
launch
relight
another
mid-flight
rocket.
after a hard shutdown. So I'm not concerned about that. What I'm concerned about is why did the Raptors not start? Did it abort the start,
The
or did it
astronomy
just
enthusiast,
blow up something
Astro
while
2,
starting?
said let's watch
I don't
them
think it blew
replace
up.
the engines on site.
Because no, I mean probably a valve or something.
Pekro
And
Aura
then
said
they would have to
emoji,
either
oh my
fully
god,
inspect
what the
every
hell.
engine or
Scott
replace
Trosley
those
said
who
they didn't feel like
who
it.
had issue.
Did they say why it aborted, or
No,
they
they
didn't
didn't.
say anything? Oh fucking A. So
You go
it's
sleep.
either engines, yeah.
Pekro Aura said emoji nerve agent.
I keep telling people not to stay up late, but I'm the least. I
The
sleep the
astronomy
least out of all of you,
enthusiast, Astro
probably.
2, said it aborted but nothing blew up.
But
so
I get
this is
it
good.
to stay up late because I'm an adult.
Scott Trosley said if they destack, then it'll
You're still
probably
a
be a
kid.
2-day delay.
Hi, Jade.
2-day delay? God damn it.
Scamex failed, as I've said. I was right.
Scamex.
The astronomy enthusiast, Astro 2, said at least.
Well,
at
that
least.
That was. I do wonder.
That was
Pekro
fun.
Aura said stupid narrator loud.
Just mute it.
Scott
I do wonder if
Trosley
they
said at
will
least it
have
didn't do a new Glenn
some
Flight
people
4.
inspect the engines on site,
Bro,
or will
don't jinx
they
it.
just roll
Don't jinx
back?
it, Trosted.
The
Jinx it.
astronomy enthusiast, Astro 2, sent a link.
All in the middle ring.
Oh.
Wait, aren't
If
those
it does, we will hunt you
the
down
landing
and
burn
burn
engines?
you.
Or is it E11, E12
Scott Trosley
instead of
said
E13?
Raptor Boost stays goated.
I don't know, I'm trying to make a theory.
Pekro Aura said emoji nerve agent.
Jade, which engines do light up on landing? Do you know that?
Alright, I'm a dip
I am
again.
late, I am crying,
Okay.
goodbye.
I think it's E2, E11, E12,
Gay
E5,
Vampire
E6.
Princess said E11, E6 used
E11,
for divert
yes.
phase.
Ah.
Scott Trosley said emoji sooty underscore bleh.
Yeah, the divert phase, I'm sorry. But they're all in the middle ring, which is interesting. I think the abort happened because of the Raptors not lighting up. Like, they just decided not to launch. They saw the Raptors
astronomy
not, was like,
enthusiast,
nah, abort
Astro
this thing.
2, said
It's
this is
not
assuming the
something,
telemetry is
I
correct.
mean, probably the Raptors that triggered the abort. What else would? Okay, I guess I'm gonna go out. See ya, guys.
Thank you.